Game, I know what I'm supposed to do, the Crash of the Titans with the Maker. I get that there. But for $10, no. Anyway, so we got the Crash of the Titans with Jubilee facing off against Dazzler. He's a 5/5/5 red, black, and green user. They're not in that particular order. So we'll look at Dazzler, then we'll look at Jubilee, and then we'll formulate a strategy. Alright, Dazzler's black ability is called Survivor. It's passive. If she would take 5% or more damage for every 2 friendly strike, attack, or protect tiles on the board, up to 8, she'll remove 2 enemy strike, attack, or protect tiles or countdown tiles and stun the target for 1 turn, and then she empowers 4 random friendly tiles by 20%. Dance Floor Queen is her red ability that costs 7, so she'll create 5 strike tiles of whatever the strength the Dazzler will be fighting against will have. I'll make sure to do a little notation about it. And then for every 3 additional red AP that she has when this power is fired, then you create 3 strike tiles of a lower strength. Essentially, the AI is going to fire it at 9, and you'll get 1 more strike tile, or I should say 3 strike tiles. And then finally, Sounds of Light and Fury is her green ability that costs 7. So she'll deal team damage to the enemy team, plus additional damage for every friendly special tile, max of 10. And her affiliations, for all those that care: Heroes, X-Men, Mutants, A-Force, and Excalibur, for all those that care. Now, Dazzler, she was a joke character for most of the folks on the forum whenever they were guessing whoever the character was. Like, it's gotta be Dazzler, it's gotta be Dazzler. And they finally put her in the game. It's like, oh geez. Alright, Jubilee. She is a yellow, purple, and green user. Will be looking at the 370, but will be using the 301 for the fight. Heart of the team is her passive yellow ability. Whenever Jubilee makes a match, if she has less health than the target, matches deal 3171 or 200% bonus match damage, whichever is lower. And if there are at least fewer than 3 charge or at least 3 charge tiles on the board, this also applies to her allies. Higher levels, more match damage, or matches dealing more damage, bonus damage, and then it lowers the threshold from 3 to 2. Light Show is her purple ability that costs 10. You choose 2 basic tiles, converting the surrounding 3x3 blocks to yellow, green, or purple tiles, and you deal 13,166 damage, and you stun 2 random enemies for 2 turns. Essentially, this is going to be a 2-turn stun against Dazzler. Finally, Roman Candle is her green ability. Cost 9. It's both active and passive. The active portion, you create 4 charge tiles, prioritizing enemy strike, attack, or protect tiles first, and you deal 9685 damage to the enemy team. Passively, at the start of the turn, for each X-Men on the team, you create a charge tile up to the number of X-Men on the team. So if you have 3 X-Men, 3 charge tiles. Since it's going to be 1, which is hers, it's going to be 1 charge tile. Her affiliations: Heroes, Mutants, and Excalibur, for all those that care. Again, she's a member of Excalibur, Captain Britain, all that there. Alright, so our 303. So how are we going to handle Dazzler? Main thing we need to do, we need to make sure Dazzler doesn't get any red. If she gets red, she puts strike tiles on the board. That's going to deal us a little bit more damage. Luckily for us, we don't have to deal, or we don't create any charge styles, or I should say, we don't create any strike, attack, or protect tiles. If we did, we'd be in a world of trouble. But since we don't, just make our matches like how we normally do. I don't know if this Jubilee is gonna be under the threshold for Dazzler for the heart of the team. Now lower level, lesser equipped Jubilees, you could probably beat this fight here just using the heart of the team passive and then the purple stun. But we'll let my matches do the talking, and hopefully we won't need to use the 370. Alright, that was actually relatively simple. Somewhat. Got the bonus award. Thanks Alliance for playing as per usual. Now, who to pair up Jubilee with? Anybody that creates charge tiles. Now, if we're just looking strictly in the 4-star tier, Agent Coulson, he'll create charge tiles with his purple ability. Let me see here. Captain America worthy whenever the opponent makes a match 4. There's your charge tiles there. Lockjaw with his green, though you probably want to use. Yeah, that's debatable. Speaking of another yellow, green, and blue user, they're not in that particular order. Grog, whenever you match blue, create a 1-turn blue repeater that creates a charge tile. So there's an option there. Negasonic, she does it with her green, but she also hates on charge tiles too. Riri does it with her blue ability, so you got some shenanigans there. Totally Awesome Hulk does it with his black ability. Goddess of Thor does it with all 3 of her abilities, though her yellow requires your opponent to have some sort of special tile on the board. Strike, attack, or protect. Modok, not Silk, not Blob, not Melinda May, not She-Hulk. Well, the Ascended 4-star Electro, he makes charge tiles, so the 2-star Electro. There's an option there. But you kind of get the idea. Anybody that makes charge tiles, anybody happens to be an X-Men, Booyakasha. Again, no combo recommendations really for Jubilee, as I don't know why. This here is here. This is completely messed up. That throws off the timing for our Crash of the Titans. But whoever, I'm trying to think here, Uncanny X-Men. So I'm gonna, let's see here. I'm gonna filter it by 4 stars. Well, that makes no sense. I mean, by the subtitle. I wish I could just do. Well, let's do it by name A to Z. There we go. So let's see here. So it's either going to be Electra? Ooh, because you can't. That's an ascended 4-star there. Again, ignore Squirrel Girl. TU. Yeah, because it had, you know, it would have to be Electra, because TU, yeah, next week will be Electra. It should be her double crash, if I'm not mistaken. That's if I didn't mess up anything there. Anyway, I'm gonna do some work in PvE real quick, and then after I do all that, I will do the maker stuff.